All right, y'all, I'm still on hiatus, okay? That's me in quotation marks. I'm not actually on, well, I am on hiatus to February, not making a lot of videos, but some stuff is coming up fast and furious. It's not that I watch the news, it's that a lot of this stuff shows up in my feed on my phones as well as in probably my email to a lesser degree. So, if you saw the photos at the beginning of this, you know what we are about to discuss. I recorded this 9 days prior on the 20th of December 2024. There are some things that you just need to be ready for in January because this year is going to start off with a bang. Now, before we do this, I'm going to give a few shout outs. Uh, I'll keep these as brief as I possibly can. First, Brandon of Palm Beach. Uh, he is a chef at a country club. Can probably give you some tips and pointers about how to cook somewhat high end and different types of food. He's very flexible, so I encourage y'all to help him get his subs up as well as give him a try, give his channel a try. I like the ideal of having someone who works in a country club setting because I've never had that, and it gives me a good perspective on how to run a somewhat high end eatery. The second is Vegan Kings, and he's important this time. Y'all have seen him because, as you know, California is next to Washington State, and California has a bird flu pandemic to where certain parts are in a pandemic right now. Y'all know that, talking in circles. Therefore, eggs that I like to eat as protein, I gotta be careful about them. Because you know, when things go down in California, they usually spread to Oregon and Washington next. It's not that I'm going to cut back on eggs too much, but I'm going to cut back significantly enough since I'm scared. The point is that since he is a vegan chef, there's a way to probably enjoy some of your meals egg free without getting yourself sick. Of course, fruits and vegetables can make you sick. It's just good to switch it up every now and again. So if you're looking to learn how to make your favorite ethnic foods, vegan friendly, he's your guy. Next person is someone that I've advertised every now and again that is doesn't show up too often. That's Lucy's World. She does a combination of American comfort food with Dominican flair. Like her Marry Me chicken, that recipe looks delicious. So if you're the type person want that stick to your ribs, Americana, delicious food, and you also want that Caribbean vibe. Of course, Vegan Kings can give you that too with his Haitian background. But Lucy's also your girl for the Caribbean flair and a mixture of her roots in Dominican Republic as well as American food, good old American diner type style food. Nikki P, I've also discussed her a few times. I see her subs continue to grow, and hats off to her. Congratulations. I'd love to see her subs grow more. Told y'all this cat was going to interrupt me. She'll do it through this whole live, so be prepared that she's just going to keep meowing me until she gets attention for something she doesn't need, so ignore it. Anyway, Nikki P's subs are growing. If you want to know a lot about Chicago history, because that spot is cool, how to budget your meals, how to buy things on a budget, Nikki P is your girl. She also does gaming. She's like a Jill of all trades, going to museums, going to zoos, teaching you how to shop budget as a mother. Her channel runs the gamut. Give her a try. Now, this last and certainly not least is one that I've been subbed to for a while that we have not talked about, is Sutton's Days. When you go to Sutton's Days, okay, she will block you if you discuss politics, and I think this is a good thing because she discusses pantry preparedness, which is going to be one of the points of this video today. And she teaches preparedness without fear mongering. and learning to have a balance between preparing without acting like you have to dig a hole and live in the ground. I think her channel's wonderful. It's worth you all looking at and giving it a little bit of a try. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. I have a fascination with wolves. I guess me being an Alabama-born Washingtonian, because I am now a resident of Washington State, have been since 2000. I would say I got here 2005. I changed my residency 2006, 2007, somewhere along that line. So I've been a bona fide Washingtonian for almost 20 years. So we have gray wolves here. They're making a comeback. Why are wolves important to the 4 points I'm about to discuss? We build folklore around wolves, right? Oh, the lone wolf who wants to do things by themselves, which from a metaphoric standpoint, that's true, but the reality is the lone wolf is the young wolf in the pack that protects the mothers and the babies and the older male wolves who no longer have the stamina. If you want to know more about wolves, you guys got to go look, guys and girls got to go look that up. What folklore tells you about wolves and what they actually are a different thing. Just like wolves in sheep's clothing, all of these people who sit in your face and lie and act like they have your interest at heart, like with a lot of these people striking and then their jobs being taken away through layoffs after they went on a strike. That's wolves in sheep's clothing. The lone wolf folklore, the ideal that you can do things by yourself, will be the focus of this video because you just cannot. Okay? Wolves running in packs is what I would prefer us to talk about today. Taking care of each other, because that's what we need to do, because that's what wolf packs actually do. They hunt together to achieve a whole. We don't necessarily need to hunt, but we do need to start taking care of each other. So let's go ahead and discuss the 4 issues that are gonna be a problem starting January, okay? And on this beautiful, hopefully beautiful Sunday morning, by beautiful Washington State, it could probably be dumping snow or raining. I won't know yet because I recorded this 9 days ahead. Feel free to give some commentary because I want you all to participate. This is a participatory live, and I would hope that you all are making the active effort to participate in it. Okay, so without further ado, we're going to talk about the first issue. TikTok. I am sub to DeAndre Dobbs out of Weir, Mississippi, okay? You guys aren't familiar. I didn't put him in this video, but I have given him a shout out in the past. If you like celebrity gossip, I normally don't. I use celebrities as a springboard to life lessons. But he just said something the day I recorded this that rings true. For those of you who have TikTok, because I don't, that's about to go away for you if a negotiation is not reached. And at last I checked, 7 million Americans have made a significant amount of money on TikTok. But what DeAndre said was powerful, that those people will probably start to migrate to YouTube. Most of them have YouTubes, let's face it. But they'll saturate an already saturated market. Because let's face it, when people make videos, YouTube is on easy mode. Let me know how, because I know people busting their butt and still can't get monetized. But I digress. What I want you to understand right now, if you own a TikTok, for every one thing that goes away, you need to find 2 to diversify. If this is your career, you've got to start treating it like a business and understand that business partners can be wiped out. Because anybody with an ounce of common sense, and I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but I'm thinking outside the box here. 7 million is more than a significant enough amount of people that somebody don't want making a lot of money. And so they'll rationalize, oh, only American companies like X, formerly known as Twitter, or Meta, formerly known as Facebook, should make the most. It's funny how these same restrictions aren't being put on them, but is being put on TikTok. And look, I know people say TikTok is the rot of society, and people say things like, oh, that's because they're not American. Any person with common sense could argue that some degree of Facebook and Twitter are also rot. Isn't all social media filled with some type of rot that dumbs us all down? Even for myself, who don't care for TikTok, I'm not the type of person that want to see someone's money being taken away from them because someone wants to play the big bad wolf. But the underlining thing with this is we're going to let you think you're building money, and then we're going to snatch it from up under you. When platforms move, you need to move with them, and you need to treat it like a business and move swiftly if you care. I don't particularly care to ever monetize on any social media platform, meaning physically getting money from the physical setup on their platforms, though I support plenty of you all who are trying to get monetized. So if you're listening to this, please get hip to the fact that there's a huge possibility that TikTok is going away. Don't be naive about this. Okay. Number 2, we know what's happening in January. On the 15th of January 2025, the strikes on the East Coast at the ports could resume. I'm not trying to fearmonger you in gloom and doom, but with the Amazon strikes happening, if you depend on that, and with all the other strikes happening throughout the country, I sincerely hope that whatever goods you need, even if those goods are a part of your business, you have already made the moves or started the process of getting the things you need, not the things you want, okay? I understand wants are a thing, and if you want something, make sure it's in reasonable price before these strikes go. My unpopular opinion that's going to tick you off: automation of those ports is inevitable. The United States is going to automate. It is in the United States' best interest for innovation purposes to automate. Look at Boeing out here in the greater Seattle area. They complained, they reached a deal, and in less than 2 months got layoff notices. Every person who has ever complained in 2024 semi got their way, and then the layoffs came shortly afterwards. For now, those ports are ran by humans who are, in all actuality, to a certain degree, paid a livable wage, though they don't think so. Y'all can push back with me on that, and that's fine. But they're paid more than most of the people who are striking, like Starbucks workers as of this recording, more than Amazon workers. You're going to pay as the consumer for these port strikes. And if you're enjoying your holiday, congratulations. By the time this video is out, Lord willing, I'm still alive, we're past Christmas, which I don't celebrate really. This means you've had the next couple of days, because now it's the 29th, 30, 31st, the 1st. You got 3 days to get something if something's gonna go down. Okay? So if you're on the East Coast, I'm not telling you to be paranoid. Just be aware that you're going to take some losses from a material goods standpoint and possibly raw material goods standpoint for a while, if a resolution is not reached concerning this the artificial intelligence. The United States is going to eventually automate. That just is what it is. That's going to offend some people, and I apologize in advance, but it just is. The third point and why I brought up Sutton's Days: pantry preparedness. As we go into a 2025 posture, I sincerely hope that you all have been with food that doesn't perish as often. And this is even something I gotta practice what I preach and start to do soon. By the time y'all listen to this video, I've got it done. Stock up on essentials, okay? Foods that'll last you a while, even like medicines like you may need. If you know you're prone to cold and flu, get you some Theraflu or something. Don't be these crazies out here going to get ice cream and frozen pizza while you're stagnant and stuck in your house. Yep, more noise. My bad, y'all. Because I'm seeing an increase in demand at food banks, and food banks are being burned out because they can't keep up with demand. And that demand rose in 2023 and 2024 post-pandemic. Okay? Even if you have to go to a food bank and you have no choice in that, do it sensibly. Keep a little bit in your house. You don't have to hoard it, okay? Just keep a little bit of food on you in case the weather patterns get bad, because some of you don't live close to coast where your houses can flood. Some of you don't live where you may get huge heaps of snow. Of course, we kind of do, and Washington has been getting worse in the greater Seattle area throughout the years. Okay? Pantry preparedness is no joke. That's why I encourage y'all to go to Sutton's Days. There's budget ways to do this. There's even dollar store ways to do this. Watch videos on how to go to the dollar store and how to budget. Because food insecurity will increasingly be a thing. I even suspect this is being done on purpose, but I told you I wasn't going to fearmonger. We're only going to talk about preparedness. Last and certainly not least, seems like a petty thing, but it's something I want to discuss. It is all of these companies rolling back at the same time work from home policies. And let's be honest, this is being done to control people. It has been proven on half of these jobs, at least, that productivity rose when people got to work from home. They got to sleep in and log on right before their shift, when they got to cut back on paying high and expensive daycare, when they didn't have to go buy expensive lunches and eat with people that they don't have to like. Because let's be honest, your co-workers are not your friends. If you don't get on board with that, I don't know what to tell you. Now, I'm not saying you can't meet long-lasting friends at work. I've met 2 in my entire lifetime. One in Seattle that has since moved to Georgia, and one still here in Washington with me in Kitsap County. The rest of those people, I just pray for them and keep it moving. I don't want anything particularly to do with them outside of work. Your co-workers are not your friends more than 90% of the time. So to me, it's weird to make people go back in the office and pretend to deal with people that they really don't like. I just find that to be some stranger than fiction stuff. And mind you, I'm the type of person that prefers the in-office over telework, but I don't have a right to take that away from people. Who wants to sit in traffic? That's not attractive. Or if we come in the office and we collaborate together, what you're going to do when you make people go back in an office around people, whether they like them or not, there are still other extenuating circumstances I've mentioned, such as daycare, such as gas, such as sitting in a commute for more than an hour for some people. You think that you're open overt lie of collaboration's gonna work. No, people are gonna resent you, and some are already looking for remote jobs. You waited till a bad economy happened to force feed people that working from home was bad when you praised it a few years ago. A person working from home does not make them antisocial. Most people I know now working from home are very extroverted people who meet the coworkers they like at bars often, or they meet the coworkers they like in a park to take walks. I've seen it. Or they meet them in a nice restaurant or out for coffee once a week. So some bonds have already built there. But this ideal that you're going to upend people and make them go in the office, they're just going to LARP around and do the bare minimum. Well, anybody will want this job. Some people, for the first time, I've never seen it in my life. And in my lifetime, I've never seen so many people, excuse the burp, who are more willing to get fired than to keep going into a place of work that let them do something. Now you're trying to yank it back like petulant brats. We're going to collaborate together. No, you're trying to keep an eye on people in person, make them miserable, and control them. Okay, let's call this what it is. Good. People should go back in the office and telework. Why are you so bothered about whether somebody gets to sit home and work or not while you have to go in? Because for some jobs, you have to go in every day. But understand that's your career and that's your choice. And this is from me, a person who prefers to be in the office. Why are you threatened by somebody wanting to stay home and save money on daycare, save money on phony lunches, save money on commute? Whatever's coming, these people aren't playing. So I'm going to conclude this. Some stranger than fiction stuff is going down. And I ask that you not panic. But you do need to keep something in mind while you're not panicking. You should be sensible about this. You will own nothing. And you will be happy. When that was said a couple of years ago, the purpose of all of this was to push you to your brink. So everybody's like, I'm selling this gloom and doom. What is my solution to this? I have one simple one. Even as an introvert person myself, was a hard conclusion to come to. But when I got and put myself out there, I was happy. Community. For me, it's farmers markets, it's museums, right? That is how I started to build community and intimacy with the people in my community who grow food, who raise husbandry animals. For the first time this year, and we're going to do it next year, I have a half a cow in my deep freezer downstairs. And everybody's like, well, what if the power goes out and la la la? We rarely have to worry about that in Washington. Not that we have lots of power outages, but it's so cold that meat ain't gonna spoil that fast. I understand the concept of getting canned meats. That's why I'm gonna get back on that soon. And that's why I was happy to go to that Christmas bazaar at the Kitsap Pavilion and know that there's a person in the Pacific Northwest in general that cans their own fish, because I'm going to buy more of it. Oh, it's expensive, but it's just my husband, myself, and this cat. How expensive can it be when I'm a light eater and my cat's a light eater? Next year, when the markets open, as soon as the farmers markets open, I'm going and buying my chickens to put in the freezer. They won't slaughter them right away. They'll feed them and do their thing, and then I'll pick them up mid to late summer. But in the spring, go order them because the chickens run out fast. Go back, get fresh veg. I used some fresh vegetables the first time in a hamburger stew from the meat we bought. And it was delicious to use peppers from that. Museums help me to meet people who have things in common with me, or things that may not be so common but might be helpful. Maybe they're a soaper like I am. Maybe they own a Honda CRV like me, or maybe they like eat Indian curry like I do. Community. You're going to have to know your surroundings and know who you may be able to count on, even from a transactional standpoint. And don't get me wrong, it's not good to be a transactional person, but you're going to need to rely on reciprocity here. See, I don't want to give y'all these videos and not give you solutions, because whatever's coming is not cute. And I'm hoping while you all are listening, you are all given solutions and participating actively in this video. It's got to be community, folks. This is why I told you and showed you all of the content creators at the beginning of this video. You are going to need people. And you can need them and come to a mutual conclusion and have a transaction without being transactional and using them. Just allow reciprocal transactions to come with it. 2024 taught me that. Prior to this, I didn't want to make a lot of YouTube videos. I didn't want to be bothered with a lot of people. Whatever the United States was the year 2019 and back, 1 January 2020, it all changed, and it's not going back. Whatever is happening now, it doesn't care about your race. It doesn't care about your background. It doesn't care if you're from the South, the Midwest, the Northwest, the Northeast, the Southwest. It don't care if you're from New England. It doesn't care if you're from the Caribbean. It doesn't care if you're a United States territory. It doesn't care about your skin color. It doesn't care about your gender. It doesn't care about DEI. It doesn't care about any of it. This is why community is so important. Even if you have to build it online, build a community. Know what someone can contribute to you. Information that's going to make you better. And be prepared for the fact that people really don't care about you. They can lay you off at the turn of the top of a hat and get on those side hustles. 2025 is in a few days. Roll up your sleeves. Let's get to work. Let's help each other. Let's get at it. All right. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Be safe. And I'll see y'all back on full time in February. A few videos are going to drop. Y'all can watch them. All right. Y'all have a great one.